Today we have a switch always on installation. At home I have a cable modem / Wi-Fi router. I have a security system, iSmart alarm, and I have base station, and then I have my garage door opener base station. My concern, if I lose power, basically, I lose the ability to kind of open my garage door through my app because I will have no connectivity. And again, I will lose the ability to get alarms if my security system is breached. Same issue if the cable modem / Wi-Fi router hangs up. Same issue. I lose ability to get security alarms, and I lose the ability to be able to open my garage door through my phone app. Once we turn on the unit, as I said, the red light indicates the battery is charging. If we turn the unit around, we see all the DC ports with green lights. We have two 12 volts with barrel connectors, two 5 volt with USB connectors, and we have cables. We have barrel cables that plug into the barrel connectors, and we also have a USB cable that plug into the USB with a barrel end. If your device has a USB cable, you can just plug it in directly if it's a 5 volt. But if it's a barrel connector, you would end up using the USB to barrel connector cable, and we have adapter kits for the different connector types that you may end up with. So let's start with our cable modem. You can see the cable modem is powered by an adapter, and if I unplug it, you can see it's a barrel connector, seems to be the largest, and this is a 12 volt. So I'm gonna take my 12 volt cable, plug it into one of my 12 volt ports, and chances are this is the largest adapter we have, the green one. Use that as an adapter, and I'm gonna plug in my cable / Wi-Fi modem, and you can see the green light is on, and if I turn it around, the unit is starting. So now this unit is totally powered by switch always on. Next we'll move to the iSmart alarm. So I'm gonna use the 5 volt cable. But since this is a barrel adapter, so I have to use one of the barrel connectors and one of the adapters. Let me use one of the right angle adapters, use that and see if this plugs in. And you can see it's powering up. So this is the next unit. So iSmart alarm is starting up. The Chamberlain is the same. It's a 5 volt. I verified it's a 5 volt adapter. So I'm gonna unplug it. It's a barrel connector. So I'm gonna use my second USB to barrel cable. And again, this seems to be like one of the smallest barrel adapters. So if I use the smallest in our kit in here and plug it into the Chamberlain, you can see the unit is starting. So now you can see that all of the cable Wi-Fi modem, the iSmart alarm, the Chamberlain are all powered by switch always on. So once you connect all the all the devices to the DC ports, the last thing you may want to do is the following. I mean, you can either connect the switch always on through the mobile setup to your Wi-Fi network, or also you can connect it to one of the ports that are available on your cable modem / Wi-Fi router. So I'm gonna do both. So in this case, we have an Ethernet port in here, and there's a Ethernet cable provided. So I'm gonna connect that to basically one of the ports on the Wi-Fi router in this scenario. So let me I'm gonna disconnect one of those, not using it, and just connect this one. And you can see now, now this switch always on is basically getting a network connection through the cable modem / Wi-Fi router. And this will allow it, in fact, to monitor the network availability. So as long as the networks now, in fact, the unit is communicating with our cloud application, and basically if it loses internet connectivity, I can set up the ports to selectively start, for example, the cable modem / Wi-Fi router. Because if I lose connectivity, chances are the cable modem Wi-Fi router, for example, hangs up. So we can set up that port to restart if connectivity is lost. The setup process, you need to download the Switch Always On app, and there's a link on the quick guide that you can scan and download the app. And once you download the app, you need to register or sign up to create an account. Once you do that, you can go ahead and sign into the mobile app, and this will take you to the start screen. If you click on the left menu, you can see a quick setup. And you need to start by scanning the QR code. The QR code is on the back of the unit. So if you lift up the unit, you can do this in fact before you set up the unit. So if I do the QR code, it already scanned it. And now I can finish the setup by connecting to the Switch Wi-Fi network. So it will ask me, it will tell me look for this network, which is Switch _ a long digit. So I said, okay, yes. It will take you to the available Wi-Fi networks. So I need to find that switch, which is this one in here. It's an unsecured, so you don't need a password. And once it's now it's connected, I can go back to my Switch app and you can see it's already now connecting to the device directly through Wi-Fi. I can name the device. So let me call it NK. So I'm gonna call it NK Home. So this is my home device. You can add a password if you want. So let's do next, but I'm gonna leave it no password. So now I'm naming it, and in fact it's connecting to the cloud application, registering the device and designating it under my account and under the name NK Home. It says now your switch is online. That means I can see it from the cloud app, and the unit is now connected to the cloud through my account. I hit OK, and now I can see basically, if you can see, it takes me to the quick look right away. So you can see the battery is 8%. That means the battery is charging. Again, this unit has been sitting in my disk for a while. All the ports are active, they're green. And it shows me that there's an Ethernet connection and the IP address. I can go back to the main menu. Again, it's asking me to set up a password. I can go to port configuration, and you can see I can name each one of those ports. So if I click on each port, I can name them. So for example, the first 12 volt, I'm gonna keep it as my cable modem. So I'm gonna call it cable comma slash Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi modem. So I know cable Wi-Fi modem. So I know this is the device that's in there, and I'm saving it. And then go back to port config again. And the first 5 volt, I think I connected my iSmart alarm. So I can call it iSmart alarm. So I know what ports correspond to which device. Same thing, save it. And again, and give me a message successful. And my second one, I connected my Chamberlain, which is garage door. So garage door base station. Base station. You can we just call it garage door. That's enough. And now each port is labeled, so which is which basically. So I know again my cable modem on the first 12 volt. Smart alarm first 5 volt, and again, and the labels of each port are listed on the ports themselves, so you can tell which is which. It says 5 volt 1, 5 volt 2, and so on and so forth. The second thing you can do are restart profiles. So if I hit restart profiles, it shows you basically how you want to restart your devices in case, for example, you lose Ethernet connectivity. This is a drop-down menu. Or if you lose Wi-Fi connectivity, which are the 2 modes. So if you lose internet or Wi-Fi, how are you going to restart? So for example, how much wait time? So for example, you say, I want to wait 5 minutes. So if you want to wait 5 minutes, you select this is much delay, and I want to 5 minutes is 300 seconds. After 300 seconds, go ahead and restart my cable Wi-Fi modem. And then 60 seconds later, which will be 360. So 360 in here, restart both my iSmart alarm and my garage door opener. And then once this is done, I can save that. And this will basically save this profile, meaning if I lose Wi-Fi after 5 minutes, all the devices will restart automatically.